Morning, everyone. We are the reporter of Group 2, and our report is all about Chapter 6, The Physical Self. The learning outcome of our report. At the end of this chapter, you should be able to first, identify the stages of life and explain the physical changes that occur during each stages. Second, recognize the contribution of genetic and environmental factors to the physical development of the self. Third, describe the factors that affect body image. Fourth, examine the impact of the culture on body image and self. And lastly, develop a positive body image.
I am Kimberly Saplad, a reporter of Group 2. So let us begin this discussion with a phrase by Buddha. So as you can see, it says, "To keep the body in good health is duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear." Exactly, because our life is full of uncertainty, ups and downs, and life's daily events which affect our mental, most especially our physical self. That is why we need to invest more in our body to keep it healthy and in good condition, because having a healthy body means having a good and positive mind. When you have a good body condition, you will most likely be in a better situation and your energy levels will definitely increase, which gives you an advantage on making clear decisions in your life and you will have a positive aura. So as early as now, we need to learn on what we should do to keep our body healthy. We must do some exercise every day, eat healthy foods, meditate, and some self-care routines. Kailangan nating tigilan ang mindset na, bata pa bitaw ko, dili pa ni makaunsa sa ako Especially on drinking soft drinks like Coke, eating street foods, and alcohols also. Because yes, it's true that you are still young. But did you think of the consequences later on? You will suffer. Not just you, but also your parents financially if you will be hospitalized. So think wisely. We should not take our healthy body now for granted. Instead, work hard on maintaining it. Because having a healthy body and healthy mind comes together to make our lives better. When you start to understand your physical self, it requires you to understand also the developments of your body which happens in the different stages of your life. So as you grow, you will witness the changes in you physically, in your body. So kapag nasa age 1 to 10 ka pa lang, hindi mo pa namamalayan ang mga pagbabago kasi you are more focused on playing, spending your time with neighbors and other childhood stuffs. But when you grow older, especially when you reach the adolescence period, where there are secretion of various hormones that happens inside your body. So both boys and girls will grow taller and put on weight and muscle mass. Girls will begin to have menstrual periods and will develop fuller breasts and wider hips. Both boys and girls will develop body hair on the legs, underarms, and over the sex organs. Also, both boys and girls will produce stronger body odors and may develop acne or other skin problems, which is very normal event in a teenage life. So, that is why we need to learn to understand, accept that our physical self is changing over time. Being a teenager, girls versus boys. It is not surprising that boys have higher self-esteem than girls, because boys are more likely to be in situations that encourage competition, conflict, power, and excitement, whereas girls are more likely to encounter situations of intimacy, self-disclosure, support, and co-rumination. While girls tend to develop emotions related to internalizing problems, boys tend to develop emotions related to externalizing them. Adolescents experience significant physical changes in their bodies during puberty period, as what I have mentioned earlier, and are likely to experience highly dynamic perceptions of their body image. Puberty for boys brings characteristics that are typically admired by the society, like their height, speed, breadth, and strength. On the contrary, puberty for girls brings with it characteristics that are often perceived as less laudable, as girls generally get rounder and gain body fat. These changes can serve to increase girls' body dissatisfaction. The physical self. We all know that our body is our physical self. So, the organs within our bodies, especially the different systems like the respiratory, digestive, muscular, and etc., as well as our physical extremities, are united to work together to perform their functions. The way I talk to you guys now, the way we walk, the way you think, and the way you write are part of our body's functions. But remember that this is progressively changing as we grow older. Kung obserbahan natin, yung mga sanggol, kahit hindi pa sila nakakalakad at makagawa ng mga bagay-bagay because they're still developing, ay ibang mga parte ng katilang katawan ay hindi pa naa-unlock. Kumbaga, hindi pa nagfa-function well. At kung oobserbahan din naman natin, kapag tumanda na ay ganun pa rin may mga bagay na hindi na magagawa. It is because our body slowly decreased its efficiency. So sa ganitong mga stages natin ngayon, mga teenager, our body is still on full charge pa kung ikukumpara mo ito sa cellphone. Kasi you are able to do a lot of things and activities because your body and your organs functions very well. Every human being experiences a succession of developmental stages throughout our lifespan. So as you can see in the screen, that lifespan refers to the development from conception to death of a person. Here are the 10 stages of lifespan by Elizabeth B. Hurlock. First, prenatal, from fertilization to birth. Second, infancy, from birth to 2 weeks of life. Third, babyhood, from 2 weeks of life to second year. Fourth, early childhood, from 2 to 6 years old. Fifth, late childhood, from 6 to 10 or 12 years old. Sixth, puberty, from 10 or 12 to 14 years old. Seventh, adolescence, from 14 to 18 years old. Eighth, early adulthood, from 18 to 40 years old. 9. Middle adulthood, from 40 to 60 years old. And lastly, 10. Late adulthood or the senescence, from 60 to death of a person.
Two factors affecting physical growth and development. Physical growth and development is the product of heredity and environment. Heredity. Heredity is a biological process of the inheritance of traits from parents to offspring. Ito yung mga ugali na mula sa magulang na nakokopya hanggang sa anak. Environmental refers to the factors an individual is exposed throughout life, which includes learning experience. Environmental factors such as diet, nutrition, and diseases play an important in an individual's physical development. Sex and other physical traits are determined by combination of chromosomes and genes during fertilization when the egg and sperm unite. Ito yung mga pisikal na ugali na natutukoy sa pamamagitan ng pagsama-sama o pag-isa ng mga egg cells at sperm cells. Chromosomes is a thread-like tissue that carries the genes are usually found in pairs. There are 23 pairs of chromosomes which classified as autosomes or trait chromosomes and gonosomes or sex chromosomes. The sex of offspring depends on the pairing of the sex chromosomes from the father and mother. Ito yung mga genes na karaniwang matatagpuan sa mga pares. Ang kasarian na supling ay nakasalalay sa mga pares ng mga chromosomes na kasarian mula sa kanilang mga magulang.
Genes are the basic carrier of heredity traits and are classified as dominant or strong genes and recessive or weak genes. For example, if both of your parents have green eyes, you might inherit the trait for green eyes from them. The theory of physiognomy suggested that a person's personal characteristic, such as Facial features and expression and body structures could be related to a person, character, or personality in ancient Greece. Hippocrates developed them based on the prominence of body fluids. The sanguine type has a prominence of a red bile, defined to be impulsive, cheerful, happy, and optimistic. The melancholic has a prominence black bile. They tend to be depressed and pessimistic. Choleric has a prominence if yellow bile. They easily angry, jumpy, and temperamental. The phlegmatic has excess to find to be a sluggish, dull, and slow. In 1940, William Sheldon developed body type theory. The three body types are endomorphic body, mesomorphic body, and ectomorphic body. The endomorphic body type is a plump, easygoing, and sociable. The mesomorphic body is a strong, muscular body, energetic, adventurous, assertive, and courageous. The ectomorphic body type is a tall and thin, tend to be quiet, introvert, artistic. Finally, in her work, The Wisdom of Your Face, Jean Hanner. Oval shaped tend to be friendly, kind-hearted, and selfless. Square faces tend to be witty, analytical, and great leaders. Heart-shaped faces are patient and insensitive by nature. Long-shaped faces are perfectionist and aggressive. Triangle faces tend to be creative and artistic, sensitive, determines. Diamond faces are very detail-oriented, like to be in control. People who have full and thick eyebrows tend to be confident, assertive, and goal-oriented. Angular-shaped faces tend to be responsive, genuine. Square-shaped faces who tend to be restrained, confirming, and shrewd.
Body image. We are social beings. Genetically, we rely on one another for survival of humanity. That primal connection makes our interaction psychologically and psychologically important. Important body image is both internal or personal and external or society. The media, in particular, has increasingly become a platform that reinforces cultural belief and projects strong views about on how we should look that we as individuals oftenly unknowingly or knowingly validate and perpetuate. Ang social media, dyan tayo kumukuha ng mga idea kung anong uso para yun ang mga dapat nating suotin, kung paano tayo manamit, kung paano tayo manuot sa isang bagay. The greater how we discontent with how we measure up when compared to the societal or media-supported norms, the more negative our body image. The more we compare our body to others, mas lalo tayong nababawasan nating ng confidence at dahil dito, nagkakaroon tayo ng inggitan sa iba. Kaya dapat we learn to how to be contented on what we had because that was the gift from God above. So we should treasure it and love it. Body image is related to self-esteem, which is a person's overall evaluation of his or own worth. In Egyptian art, beauty is perceived in women with slim, high waist, narrow hips, and long black hair. In contrast, women with a full figure and round hips were considered beautiful during Renaissance period. In medieval age, chubby, fat, and plump women were considered beautiful, while in Malaysia, Philippines, and Indonesia used to consider flat nose to be attractive. Cosmetic surgery is another form of body modification, which includes surgical and non-surgical procedures to restore, reconstruct, and alter body parts. Example are breast enhancement, nose lifts, liposuction, and Botox. Also, tattooing, piercing, and cosmetic surgery have become popular through time. This form of body modification involved health risks.